Alright. Let's see how we are doing. Late! Late, King Pignut. Big Brain is first. Hello everyone, welcome to another stream. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be working on one of my side projects. So basically, a few of you probably know that I've been working on this smaller Ash Wastes based project. So what I'm going to do is do a little bit of work on that. Ooh. Ignore that. Yeah, so I can show you guys a little bit of it. It does come in pieces at the moment because I haven't actually glued it yet. But some of you might have seen my post earlier on Instagram. But I've been working on some little statues and some candles and stuff. Let's see if I can show you the whole thing, just to give you guys a better idea. Again, I've got to take everything off it first because I haven't actually glued anything down yet. I'm not set on the layout of it. But here we go. So this is what I've been working on. Again, we'll see how well the camera remember chat straight away. Chat filter. Thank you, Big Brain. All messages. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys this. I'll see how close I can get and see if the camera decides it wants to pick this up a little bit. So basically, I'm calling this a sort of redemptionist Ash Waste stronghold. And I've been working on it for a little bit, but it's just kind of a little side project to distract me. It keeps the well of creativity fresh, it gives me something else to work on, and yeah, it's kind of enjoyable from time to time. Darth Brawl, glory to the Golden Throne, glory to the Emperor. We're not actually working on the Golden Throne today, but it's always there. It's always in the background. We will work on it again soon, but I'm gonna kind of distract myself with this for a little bit, I think. How are we all doing this evening? Bowden, hello. Sick, thank you very much. We've still got plenty to do though. If you're a regular here, yeah. Darth Brawl, you've nailed it. You've absolutely nailed it. Palette cleanser. I don't do them too often because obviously I want to make sure that I get as much done on the Golden Throne project as I can. But from time to time it kind of, yeah, it cleanses the palette and it keeps me interested in the project, which is arguably the most important thing. Because it's been 3 years so far that we've been working on it. Again, like I always say, it's not 3 years worth of continuous work, it's kind of 3 years worth of hobby time. But, you know, it's nice to mix it up a little bit. Gloom Creature, hello chums, hello Gloom Creature, how are we doing? Bowden, always good to mix it up. It really is, it really is. And this wasn't too much of a difficult project. This one I just kind of had an idea, and I'll be honest that Dirty Down Rust has pretty much done all the work when it comes to this build. I've used mainly Adeptus Mechanicus terrain, and I gave it a good coat of brown, and then I stuck some Dirty Down Rust on it, but it just, you know, gave me the effect I wanted. And then pigment powder has also done a lot as well. Cobalt Commando, looking nice. Thank you very much, Cobalt Commando. So, yeah, alright, in terms of what we're going to try and do today, guys, I don't have too much more to do on this little side project before I'm going to call it complete. So what I have done is I've prepared some barrels. Some of you, try and get that a little bit closer, some of you might recognise these because they are old as the hills. I bought a selection of 3rd edition terrain that I found on eBay. The barrels were part of it, and I've stuck them together and undercoated them and everything, and they're going to take pride of place on this new little build. Darth Brawl, so when can we buy a Golden Throne replication on Etsy? Well, do you know what? I'm surprised someone hasn't 3D rendered it yet. Although it's not finished, so you would have an unfinished throne. I don't think I've got enough time to sell them on Etsy. I think this is the last one I'm ever going to do. It's a hell of a job. You know, I do enjoy it. I always say this. I probably said this every stream now. I enjoy building it, but it was quite the task. and I definitely underestimated it. So, so yeah, but we, you know, like I said, we're sort of aiming to get it done, or mainly done, by the end of this year. So we'll see how we get on. But today, I wanted to do something different. So what I'm going to start off with... Whoops, forgot the time. Hello from Denmark. Hello, Alex. Hope you are well. Hope you are doing well. We're just about to say we're doing something a little bit different. I'm also cutting out these posters, which I've printed off. I can't actually credit whoever came up with the design for these because it didn't say. But they look very cool, and I feel like a bunch of them on the floor of this piece of scenery is just going to add to the sort of storytelling. So I'm going to cut a few of these out and then add some transfers to some barrels. Got stuttering there again. And yeah, just hopefully get this done, and then next stream we can sort of focus on Golden Throne again. Yeah, so let's get some done. Cobalt Commando, are you going to add minis to it other than the Emperor? Absolutely, Cobalt Commando. You probably weren't here for... I think I've been asked that question on at least one of the streams, and I have just a plethora of miniatures that are going to go on this diorama. I've been saving them up for probably a few years now, so, you know, you're going to have a bunch of Custodes, which you can probably just about see behind me. There's a small selection. And we're going to have, you know, tech priests, we're going to have servitors, we're going to have, well, we're going to have all the weirdness that humanity has to offer, basically. So you're going to see a few repurposed Necromunda characters in there, for sure. And you're going to see a few Easter eggs, so you might see a Chaos Space Marine or two. So yeah, lots of miniatures though, Cobalt Commander, lots and lots of miniatures. We've probably got about 100 Custodes. The initial plan was to have 300, but looking at how 100 looks on the board, that's probably more than enough. And I feel like if we stretch to 300, it's going to be far too many. So we're not going to do that. We're going to stick with 100. Okay, let's cut a few of these out. Thy Orange Banana, good evening, Nihilus. Good evening, Thy Orange Banana. Welcome back to another stream. We are doing something a little bit different today. We're trying to get this side project done, and then eventually we'll be back to the Golden Throne. But I've been really enjoying this little project. I haven't documented it too much. A few of you who follow over on Instagram might be aware that I've posted pictures of it maybe twice. But it's only sort of fairly recently that I've thrown myself back into it, just because it's halfway done, and if I can finish it, I just feel quite good and reinvigorated and ready to get, you know, to get back to painting pipes on the throne. And last week, was it last week or earlier this week, Frageye, regular on this channel, has very generously decided to send me the 2 pieces I need. So from that, I can actually have these pipes done and dusted. I am well though, Thy Orange Banana. I'm doing very well today, thank you very much. I took a few days off streaming, just to have a little bit of time to myself, but thought I'd go for it this evening and hang out. So let's get some stuff done. I did bring some energy drink to keep me going this evening. Hydration break again. Is anyone hanging around for the game this evening? I know this is not a Warhammer related conversation, but England are playing. But here in the UK, the time is 1 o'clock in the morning they're playing. I'm not staying awake for it because I'm not too fussed about it, but I'm sure a lot of people will be. Thy Orange Banana, good to hear it, and that's great that Frageye gave you the 2 pieces that you needed. It's really that's really awesome. It is Thy Orange Banana. It saved me a lot of hassle as well. So it just means that whenever they turn up, we can get straight back into it and get them added to the throne. I am waiting for Norway. Who's that big brain? Are they playing today? That orange banana. I'm unfortunately not hanging around for the game. I will be headed to bed and probably will see the result when I wake up at 4 in the morning. Wow. You still got to be up early. See, over here, the pubs have decided, well, not the pubs have decided, the government have let the pubs stay open longer. So I think they get to stay open till 5 in the morning or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So there's probably going to be a lot of absences from work tomorrow. Thinking a little shoehorn of Trezor Sentry gun on the left Fellblade coupler, like modern vehicles. Leopard 2A7, depending on the version. Is that what you're working on? Is it, Alex? Some tank stuff this evening. Do you guys spend a lot of time, like, when you've got an idea, do you do what I do and just go for it straight away, or do you have a little think about it? I feel like one of the things that works to my detriment sometimes is coming up with an idea and just going for it straight away instead of thinking about it sometimes. Row, row. Yeah, a lot of the times when I get an idea to add something on a project I'm working on, I tend not to think about it too much, because I feel like that just encourages me back into the whole analysis paralysis phase of things. So with this one especially, I've just kind of got stuck into it, and it's worked out really well actually, and I'm happy with the way it looks. Gloom Creature, my Norwegian partner who hates football, suddenly decided we are watching the Norway match tonight. Then I need to stay up for the England match. You're doing both, Gloom. You're going to do both. Fair play to you. Do you know what? I should have probably checked out the fixtures this evening. Because, so I didn't stream on Friday specifically because there was football fixtures on. And I figured there probably wouldn't be too many people over on YouTube, so I gave it a miss then. But I didn't check today, and I probably should have checked today, because I know at least one of you is Norwegian, huh? I know a certain someone with a green name is Norwegian. So, what time is that even on? What time does Norway start? And I don't even like football, watching it have FOMO. See, to be fair, Gloom, I would probably do the same. If I didn't have to be up for work tomorrow, or it was like a less labour-intensive job, I would probably watch the football just for the fun of it. But, you know, I got to be up early, I got to take my partner to her job, then I got to go to my job as soon as I get back. So, yeah, I think I'm going to give it a miss this evening. So what I'm doing at the moment, I don't know how many of you have seen my Avarax. I kind of loosely started this project that was based on Avarax from Space Marine 2, but in the video I got myself, I printed off a load of these sort of posters, propaganda posters, and kind of littered the floor with them. And what I am doing with this little piece is kind of the same thing. I might not go as crazy with the posters this time, but I love them as an additional little detail. And I figured that out in the Ash Wastes there would probably be like a certain amount of rubbish and, you know, stuff that gets blown around, so I think it'll look good. Toy Techno, long the project, do you have another camera to show what you're doing? Unfortunately, Techno, I am kind of limited really with my technology at the moment. I might try and set up a better angle for future videos, like maybe push the project back a bit. So yeah, I don't have a camera angle for that at the moment, long story short. But I'm just, if you are interested in what I'm doing, I'm just cutting out some posters, some propaganda posters for my side project. I've given them a coat of skeleton horde, that's why they look all brown, just to kind of add a bit of, not texture, but just make them look weathered and worn and battered. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. Toy Techno Love. I took a guess at that, Toy Techno, but I'm glad you're enjoying the project. You've tuned in today, and we're not actually working on it. We're working on something Necromunda related. But hopefully you guys will find it interesting. This piece, actually, so I'm kind of doing this piece as a palette cleanser, and also when I finished it, I'm going to sell it. So one of you might end up with it, should you decide you like it enough. But I just have to do the finishing touches first before I put it up for sale. Another bonus about working on these sort of side projects is sort of getting my skills back. Now, I've definitely mentioned it before, but sometimes when I go for long stretches without painting details or you know, engaging in certain aspects of the hobby, I feel like I lose the skill a little bit. So being able to work on these side projects, for example, these little containers, I'm going to stand up and try and show you the detail on this, if the camera decides he wants to pick it up a wee bit. But basically I went through, oh, we did have it a second ago. There we go. So basically, yeah, I had to pick out the little details on those shipping containers, and it's good practice, because then when I do go back to the project, I'll kind of have a bit of an advantage instead of just going in rusty. Oh, pressing all the buttons on my phone as well. Yeah, so I'm going to add a few of these. I don't think the throne room's going to see any propaganda posters, because it's probably a little bit better maintained than this Ash Waste stronghold. But of course I was going to crack out the transfers again today. Those of you who tuned in the other day will know that transfers are my favourite part of any build. And of course we're going to do a few this evening. Oh, I will tell you guys, I had a nightmare with those containers too. I forgot to mention this on my most recent post. But because it's quite warm here in the UK, not as bad as it was the other week. But so I'd added my transfers to these containers, and I got them ready to give a coat of varnish basically. And I made the huge mistake of using Munitorum varnish when it's too warm. Do not do it. It just fogs up. It'll fog up the miniature, and if you try and correct it like I did, instead of just being patient and waiting for it to cool down, you will make things very difficult for yourself. My only saving grace was that because this project is supposed to be a rundown Ash Wastes area, I could kind of cover it up with weathering basically, and pigment powders and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just do not do that. Do not use Munitorum varnish as well, it's just too temperamental. Gloom Creature, if you're visiting the Golden Throne, the propaganda job has already done its job. You're right, Gloom, it has. If you're lucky enough to get there. If anything, you'd probably be the first one of your family to set foot on the journey, and it'd probably be a few generations into it by the time your family actually gets there. So technically you wouldn't even get to see the Emperor, you'd just start making the pilgrimage. Frag Eye! Damn, I nearly missed another stream. Well, you're here now, Frag Eye, and that's all that matters. And you've already been mentioned on stream anyway. I was just telling everyone about how you were kind enough to offer to send me those 2 pipes that I need to get the set done. So, yeah, I've already been singing your praises on stream. At the moment, Frageye, we are just cutting out propaganda posters for my little side project. The aim is to get it finished this evening. And then next stream, we'll get back to working on the throne. I just fancied doing something a little bit different this evening, and this is kind of floating my hobby boat at the moment. Alex, years past I had some airsoft HK USP 45 pieces I made into a Dark Angel sidearm for my godson. Bone white slide with a lot of blood splatter, decals, gold, and a layer with skulls galore. That sounds pretty epic, Alex, that does. That sounds like it took a lot of time. Especially if you painted it all as well. Did you use any 3D printing elements for that? I've seen a few 3D prints of like Space Marine weaponry. And, well, all I can say is the printing game has come a long way. It has definitely come a long way. Frageye will be on their way tomorrow. German postal service is shit, sadly. Well, there's no rush, Frageye. There's absolutely no rush. You do it when you have the time. But I thank you again, because basically you've saved me a hell of a lot of time, because I don't have to troll through eBay and look for a decent priced one that's not asking too much. So I very, very, very much appreciate it. I've said this all to you before though, like, you know, this isn't really just my project anymore. This is very much a community built project. Because I definitely wouldn't be anywhere close to where we are today without the help and generosity of my fellow hobbyists, basically. And in a way, this sort of side project that I am working on, this is also going to go back into the Golden Throne, because once I'm done with it, I will sell it, and then I'll use the funds to get other things I need. So it's one of the things, actually, I can't remember where I mentioned this before, but when I do projects for Warhammer and stuff, besides my last Golden Throne one, I never really keep them, so when I do scenery pieces, I like to have space to work on something else. So hence this, you know, Necromunda piece that I'm working on, once it's done, I'll sell it so I've got space to work on something else. Because I sort of enjoy the process of making it as opposed to keeping it. Obviously there is things that I do keep and I do, you know, have around, so my Avarax panel is sat there. Granted, it's not finished yet, so that's why it probably hasn't gone anywhere. And, you know, when this bad boy's done, it's probably not going anywhere. I don't think I'm going to sell it. I don't even know how much I'd try and sell it for. Right, let's get a few more of these. I think I've nearly got enough posters. And then I'm going to start adding some decals to these barrels. What's everyone else got on the hobby table this evening? I know Alex is working on some tank stuff. Is anyone else actually doing any painting this evening? Or are we still suffering with the heat that's going around? Allegedly, the UK is supposed to be getting another heat wave, so I'm kind of dreading it. Obviously, I enjoy the sun and everything, but it's very, very hobby prohibitive. It is. Tiny Lord, hello Tiny Lord, how are we doing? Frageye, as always. Yeah, I know. I can guess, Frageye, what you're working on. Gloom Creature, painting some Necromunda hangers on. That sounds cool. Going with the theme of this evening, then, Gloom Creature. Keeping it Necromunda. Technically, Frageye's keeping it Necromunda as well with that Valkyrie, judging by the transfers that are on it. Cobalt Commando, I'm working on some files for 3D printing. That's cool, Cobalt. Is that designing them? Are you a 3D designer? I know that seems to be a few people's sort of area of hobby now, is actually designing miniatures, like designing 3D miniatures. And fair enough, because I can't imagine learning all that software or trying to get it right. Gloom oh no wait, yeah, Frageye, taking care of my Valk. I thought as much. It's looking good though, Frageye. I'm looking forward to seeing it finished. Big Brain, no heat wave here, so a reasonable temperature today then, Big Brain. Gloom Creature, putting in a lot of effort into models that my gang won't even afford to hire. At least they might get used, Gloom. Every time I paint a miniature, it just sits on the shelf and gets dusty because I don't play. So at least yours might get some play. Cobalt Commando, it's nice and cool here. It's not too bad here, Cobalt. It was a little warm earlier, but I'm just worried about this potentially impending heat wave. Doing good, not looking forward to another heat wave. Me neither, Tiny Lord, me neither. These barrels that I ended up undercoating earlier, I sprayed them outside and I had to bring them inside immediately because the paint started to kind of crisp up a bit. Luckily I got them in time. I got them in time because they're nice and smooth now, but not great weather for undercoating. Too humid, I think. The cans don't like the humidity. You'll have to send me a picture, Frageye, though, when it's done. Cobalt Commando, just sorting and arranging on build plates. Alex, I still have this between World War I and 40k. Think of how long we have come since World War I. I know you like your historical stuff as well, Alex. I've never dipped my toes into the historical stuff. I haven't convinced myself to do that. But then again, there's lots of other hobbies, not other hobbies. There's lots of other miniatures that I really like the look of, but there's no point for me. I have so much to do. There's no point in me getting any Trench Crusade. There's not really any point in me getting anything else at the moment. Some of you might remember I was really excited about Caiaphas Cain and Jurgen coming out as a miniature, and I didn't end up buying it because I'm just thinking, what's the point? They're just going to be sat there. They're not going to get the attention they deserve. Alright, one more and then it's barrel time. I think, judging by what was mentioned earlier in the stream, I can't remember the name that came up, so I'm very sorry if you're still watching. I am going to have to get this camera angle sorted, I think, so you guys can see what I'm actually doing. Because at the moment, I'm just kind of... You can't really see, can you? I'm just kind of crouched over. Alright, but I have been productive, and we've got a pile of posters now. So I can get rid of this. I'll keep the last ones. I might use them on something else. And now we can do some barrels. Tiny Lord, would Trench Crusade feel too close to home? What? Oh, there goes the knife. What do you mean, Tiny Lord, too close to home? Too close to Grimdark? I do like the idea of Trench Crusade. some of the artwork and the miniatures does interest me. I just haven't been able to sort of throw myself into it. Right, so these two are coming out again. And something I did actually remember is last stream even, I didn't put the microsol on the transfers that we done, so I'm going to have to do that at some point. Michael, working on 2 land speeders for my Blood Angels. Nice. Is that the new ones, Michael? Did any of you end up going for Armageddon in the end? I know we touched on this, because I know I was saying, like, oh, I'm not going to get it, I'm not going to get it, and I haven't, before you say anything, I didn't get it. But yeah, I'm curious as to how many people did end up going for it. It has nice miniatures, like really nice Space Marines and stuff. I don't think I'd get much use out of the Orcs, but Space Marines were cool. Again though, I feel like I'm trying to not do the FOMO thing, because I would just have it here on top of this off-screen Indomitus box. It'd be sat there and we'd probably be streaming a year or 2 from now and I'd be like, look, my Armageddon box is still there untouched. You know, if I could paint much faster, I probably would invest in them, but I can't. I'm a slow painter. Rainbow worm hunter. Ah, yeah. Trench digging and avoiding the rainbow worms. I actually mentioned that when I was working last week, and a few other people have not heard of that, so... Alex, but armor of 40k looks oldish. It's funny. Then again, too futuristic would probably turn players from it. Yeah, well, 40k does have that sort of inspiration that it takes from World War... Is it World War 1 and 2? I think that's why it looks quite cool, because it's got that... I don't want to say grounded, because obviously you sort of suspend your disbelief when it comes to 40k, but there's very sort of believable aspects of it. Paulie, I picked up a copy. How are you doing with your copy, Paulie? Have you assembled it? Have you started painting yet? I feel like because they're push fit, it shouldn't take too long to assemble those kits. Okay, we're going to do some transfers. Also, one of the benefits is, I feel like you can pick up a lot of the units from, you know, online. If you don't want to get the box set, I know this because I've already had a look, you can just buy the individual units, so if I do feel at some stage that I want a unit to sit and gather dust, I'll just do it that way. Okay, transfer time. Fragite, nope, I bought me some Imperial Guard on a budget with the Combat Patrol magazine, and I have the Valk and another one from my pile of shame. Fair enough, Fragite. I kind of like the fact that not everyone feels the need to get it, because I know that some people are quite impacted by FOMO, and I can relate because I've done it. You know, I definitely done it with Indomitus, and I've definitely done it with a few of the Kill Team boxes. But I feel like if you manage to get past it with one, you can kind of stop it, because then it also gives you more focus towards whatever you're working on. Or I find, you know, this might not ring true for everyone, but I find that, yeah, I don't feel like I'm just accumulating miniatures there. Right, now what should I put on these barrels? I was thinking some Imperial Guard transfers, so maybe raiding the IG transfer sheet again. Definitely one of the best transfer sheets that they've done recently, Games Workshop. Fantastic. Okay, yes, so let's add a few of these. I think I quite like, there's a red one on there that has like a number. It's obviously supposed to be a tank decal, but I feel like it's going to look quite good on the barrels. Maybe the contrast of the red and the white. Paulie, I've built the Jump Chaplain, but I picked up a load of 40k when I was in England. Sorry, it's funny you're talking about England and I can't speak English. I just finished a Redeemer. So some Necromunda stuff as well, Paulie, is it? The Jump Chaplain is very cool, though. As I said, I do like all the Space Marines from that set. Maybe not the Land Speeder, but it's not because of the design of the Land Speeder. I've just never been a big fan of Land Speeders. But all the other Marines I think are fantastic. Tiny Lord, my wallet knocks out my FOMO pretty quick. That's understandable, Tiny Lord. That is understandable. It's not a cheap hobby, is it? It's definitely not a cheap hobby. I just find that when I do get around to painting Space Marines, I've already got so many of them that I think a few more poses aren't really going to make a difference, you know? Not make a difference like I'm going to buy them. I just mean there's not really any point in me adding any more, I suppose. I think at this point I'm more of a scenery guy anyway. I think the way I see my sort of the future of my hobby going is just building terrain, or mainly building terrain. Because it's what I have most fun with, basically. Like this is, yeah, I love it. If I was going to analyse it further, I'd say it was probably something to do with you know, when I was a kid looking through White Dwarf, and also going to Warhammer World at quite a young age and seeing all the scenery, because you know they always go all out with the tables. Granted, I haven't been there recently, but when I was a kid, the displays that they used to have and the tables were phenomenal. So I think that's always kind of been an area of the hobby that I wanted to engage with the most, like the environmental storytelling and all the ruins and stuff like that. Paulie, a land... Oh, yeah, of course. I was thinking of the... I was getting confused with Redemptionist there, because I was thinking like, oh, I'm kind of building this Ash Wastes Redemptionist stronghold. So I was thinking, oh, that's fitting. But no, that makes more sense. Land Raider Redeemer. Fully magnetized. I had an original back in the day, always wanted one of the new ones. One of the new ones. Oh, you had... did you have the old one, Paulie? Like the proper old school plastic one? Because those were cool. And they're very hard to get hold of now if you want one. Right, I think this is going to have to go on the top, because I've realised that this decal is actually too big to go on the side. Excuse me while I do the concentration face. You're all probably used to it by now. Tiny Lord, I think I'm more of a scenery guy, he says with a gigantic throne diorama behind him. It's a dead giveaway, isn't it, Tiny Lord? It is a dead giveaway. It kind of reminds me of any time I get my hands on a Warhammer game as well. So playing Space Marine 2. What else did I play recently? Or not recently, but Hired Gun by Necromunda. A lot of the time in those games, I will spend a load of time looking at the environment. So Hired Gun, for example, fantastic environment. I feel like it really encapsulates Necromunda. Gameplay is a bit... iffy. Story is shockingly bad. The story is so bad. And it's a bit of a shame because the game does have some good stuff going for it. but there was just no storyline. It was crazy. Like, I kind of lost track of what was happening. So, if you're anything like me, you might like that game for the storytelling, but I would try and get it cheap. And I've done the same with Space Marine 2. Like, I just spend loads of time looking at the environment and, you know, sort of getting inspiration from it. Absolutely love it. Alex, never bought a box set. Half of it half of it never getting built. Of course I have a Deathwing Terminator box. Now Alex, Deathwing Terminator box still in the box? Or Deathwing Terminator box assembled on the shelf? Because I feel like they're two very different things. Paulie, looks like the new one, but a lot shorter and way fewer parts. Oh, don't think I've ever built one of the newer ones. In all honesty, I feel like Land Raiders are one of the things that is destined to be upgraded again soon. Because all the Land Raider kits are still the older ones. You know, they're still the ones from. Were they showcased in 3rd edition, maybe? And they haven't been upscaled with Primaris yet, so maybe we'll see something like that in the future. Jock! A side project I see. A side project I see? Yes, yes, we're doing a palette cleanser today, Jock. Hello, guys. God, what is it with my English being so bad on stream? Hello guys, glad to catch the stream. Welcome to the stream, Jock. Welcome aboard. We're just kind of hanging out and chatting this evening while I work on this side project. I'm really enjoying it. I am really, really enjoying it. Before I even started streaming, I've probably spent like 5 hours on this today. So, yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this little palette cleanser. And that might be as well because I'm adding transfers. And you would know, Jock, that I love transfers. I am a transfer nerd. Okay, let's get a few more of these on. I was telling everyone that I took a little bit of time. So I haven't streamed since last week sometime. Just took a little bit of time to do my own thing for a little bit. Just because that's also nice from time to time, just to take a little bit of a break. I usually only need a day or two, to be fair. But that does help as well. Not that I don't enjoy streaming, of course. I wouldn't bother doing it if I didn't enjoy it. It's just nice to do other things that aren't Warhammer. And sometimes I just sort of play a few games on Xbox. This is obviously my favourite hobby, though. Sometimes it's nice for a bit of not passive entertainment, because, you know, I guess that would be movies and stuff, but a bit of gaming from time to time I do enjoy. Alex, can we see a bit of what you're making? Not to put down your fantastic backdrop. Of course you can, Alex. Let me just put this transfer on and I will show you what I am working on. I did give everyone a quick glance at the beginning of the stream, but I am aware that some of you probably weren't here at that stage, so I will give you guys a look. Just finished this. Obviously, I will apologise in advance because the camera doesn't always pick this up so well, and it is in a few pieces. So I think what I will do is I'm going to take the statue off first, and I'm going to take off the shipping containers and the little bridge, because I've decided not to stick things down permanently yet, but here we go. Oh, let's see if this... Oh, a bit high. So I'm kind of working on this Ash Wastes, what would I call it? it's kind of like a redemptionist stronghold. So it's a bit naked at the moment, obviously, because I've taken all the stuff off of it. But yeah, I've done all the little barricades and stuff. The camera's really not liking that. But what I am going to do as well, when this is finished, I'm going to do a reel with my phone and put it on. I'll put it on YouTube and I'll put it on Instagram for you guys to have a look at. Because this camera is just so old now. I've said this before too, but you know, I'm going to need to invest, I think, in a bit of equipment to make things a little bit better. What have we got here? Paulie, the Land Raider may be too iconic to remove. They have all the Hoover tank variants as well. I don't know whether they'd remove it, Paulie. I just wonder whether they'd make another mark and upscale it slightly to fit in terms of Primaris. Because it is, I won't argue with you, it is iconic. It's an iconic tank. But I feel like with the business, if they can sell you something again, they're going to do it. So it's probably, I would put my money on it happening at some point. Jock, I bought a Polyreal Studio 8mm Killzone Infantry box today. I hope it's not a too big project. Trying to get back into the hobby on a smaller scale. That sounds like a good start, Jock. That's pretty small. So I think if you can do that, you can probably sort of work your way back up. You have to let me know how that goes. Tiny Lord, what is it? What is it you're working on for this for the side project? What I just showed there, Tiny Lord. I'm doing a little base, redemptionist base for Necromunda. Just because I always had a bit of an interest in Necromunda, and I see loads of scenery online, like loads of stuff that people have made, and I've always wanted to try something. So I've started with like an Ash Wastes kind of thing, and maybe in future I'll try other Necromunda stuff, maybe some more Zone Mortalis stuff, maybe another box sitting off screen. That's how many boxes I have that I can just be like, look, one there, one there, one there. Ruined Zone Mortalis, I'd like to try that at some point. So you'll probably see a few more side projects, but once this one is done, it'll be back on this for a while. So okay, I could vision Mila Jovovich and a skimpy outfit there. Have you been watching that awful movie, Alex? That awful... So I put this on as a throwaway movie a few weeks ago. It was called is it Into the Badlands, I want to say? It was written by G.R.R. Martin. Because it's based on a book. But the film was awful. The film was so bad. It was like this... she was just like in this desert the whole time with Bautista. And oh my god. Like, some of the imagery was quite cool. Like, it kind of reminded me of 40k Necromunda stuff. But if you haven't watched it, don't waste your time, okay? Do not bother. It's really bad. Really, really bad. Okay, I need one more of those. I know you haven't come on here to watch me complain about films, but I was kind of shocked at how awful that one was. And that takes a lot with me. It does. In fact, it's completely scrubbed whatever I thought the worst movie I've watched before that was. Alex, I don't care, I'll watch it anyway. You're probably just going to watch it because Mila Jovovich is in it. That's what I'm getting from this conversation, Alex. That's why you're going to watch it. Okay. So I'll show you guys what I've kind of done here with... Again, I will stand up. Alright, so... Let's see how well this comes up. I've used these sort of tank decals for the tops of the barrels, just because the colours work really well, the red and the white. So it'll make them pop a little bit on the... I was going to call this a diorama then. I've got to remember that this isn't a diorama, okay? This is just a piece of scenery. I feel like I get a bit carried away with the details. Big Brain, I'm off to watch Norway crush Brazil. Best of luck, Big Brain. Best of luck. You'll have to let me know how it goes. Well, I know I will know how it goes before the next stream. But, best of luck. That's going to be a tough game as well. Because aren't Brazil really good? But I hope you got it. And I hope England get theirs, because then we can have Norway versus England. And in which case, I will watch that game. Okay, let's get this on. There's not a chance I'm staying up till 1 o'clock. I haven't, Big Brain. I haven't fixed the Discord yet. I will do it, though. I promise I will do it. 7-1 for Norway. That would be cool. That would be very cool. You staying up for today's one? No way, Tiny Lord. No way. I do enjoy watching football games from time to time. So... like, occasionally I'll watch like a World Cup game or a big fixture game, but I just can't, you know, I gotta be up for work and I can't bring myself to do it. Also, I feel like sod's law, I would stay up and England would lose, so that would make it even worse. Going back to Big Brain, no, I will set it up as soon as possible and I will make sure all you guys know. I'll make sure I rave about it on here once I've done it. It's something for this week. Granted, it was supposed to be this weekend, but I ended up just kind of chilling out a wee bit. Okay, so these are looking good. I think we're going to do a few more Aquillas on them, maybe. I've got some small Aquillas I could use for the barrels. Kind of want them to have it like a little bit of a pop of colour, because one of the things I've noticed from this little build is that since it's Ash Wastes and everything is just rusted and dusty, there's not too much colour to it. So I feel like with these little barrels and containers and stuff, it helps add a pop of colour. So I like to add a few decals to the barrels to help show that. This big yellow triangle with a skull should do nicely. This barrel is filled with poison. Fragite, you were a little bit out of focus, Nihilus. I am I? I am. Let me see if I can adjust that. See if you can get a better look at my sweaty head. Alright. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's see. Half the time I don't know what I'm doing with this camera, if I'm honest with you. Is that any better? Hopefully that's a little bit better. You're watching someone who's not very good with technology. He just about manages to cobble together a live stream most of the time. And that's only through repetitive behaviour. Once you do it once, well, once you do it a few times, you kind of know how to do it. Better now. Okay, fantastic stuff. I know you still can't see what I'm doing, but hey, you can look at my sweaty forehead for an hour. You can probably see, so all these custodies behind me, That was for one of our viewers today. That was for Tiny Lord. Tiny Lord is currently in the process of choosing which custody he wants for the diorama. Tiny Lord supports at the custody tier as a channel member, which means he gets to name one. So I've been taking pictures to send to him, and he, at some stage, is going to choose which one he likes. And he'll get a name tag made. Where's my brush? It's also worth bearing in mind that if any of you fancy that, the opportunity is there if you become a Custody channel member. You get to name one, and you can name it whatever you want. Well, within reason. You can't you can't name it something that I'm not allowed to put on a name tag. You can be like Big Brain though. Big Brain decided to give his an Eldar name because Big Brain loves being awkward. You haven't been bugging me, Tiny Lord. It's not bugging me. I wouldn't offer it as part of the channel membership if it would bug me. Imagine that. Just shrugging people off like, nah, you know what? This is too annoying. I'm not going to bother. No, you've got to choose the right one for you, Tiny Lord, and sometimes that takes time. And there's never a big rush anyway, so you take all the time that you need. Right, that is a damn fine skull. Frag-Eye, you are still Valdor, Frag-Eye, and we need to decide what we're going to do for you, because I feel like we should have like a shield captain of some kind for Valdor. So I feel like we're going to have to get like a fancy robed custody as well. Light Orange Banana finds that amusing too. You are still Valdor, Frag-Eye. I've got 2 custodies and I've got a Valdor, so I'd say I'm doing pretty well at the moment. Okay, do I have another skull? I feel like I've just chosen one transfer and I don't have another 2 of them, which is what I need. So, that could be an issue. Actually, we might be alright. There's another one. Tiny Lord, wait, you're Valdor. Have you only just noticed that, Tiny Lord? Frag-Eye is Valdor. He is. He is, I guess he's someone you've got to answer to, Tiny Lord. He is in charge of the custodies. Lost Laser Droid, do you play any of the Warhammer video games, and if so, what do you think of them? It's funny you ask, Lost, because I did touch on that earlier in the stream. I do, when I get the chance. There is still a load I haven't played, so I haven't played the Deathwing one yet, and I haven't played like the Rogue Trader ones, or the RPG-esque ones. I've done Inquisitor Martyr, which I thought was alright. Space Marine 2, really enjoyed Space Marine 2. And I've done, way back in the day, done Fire Warrior. I don't think that's relevant nowadays. It'd still be cool if we got a sequel at some point. But, yeah, you know, you could look up the reviews for that for yourself. And Hired Gun. It's weird with Warhammer games because I feel like they're very hit or miss, and it's mostly miss. Because Space Marine 2 is fantastic. Like, Space Marine 2 is really good story, really good level design. It feels like 40k, it's brilliant. Then you've got Hired Gun, which has the setting right. The designs for Necromunda are fantastic. The character designs and everything are damn good. The gameplay is, you know, it's trying to be Doom, but it's quite buggy. so you know it kind of drops frames and stuff. But if you're like me and you're into the kind of environment stuff, you might find it interesting. And then yeah, Inquisitor Martyr was okay. I don't think I've got anything particularly special to say about it. I enjoyed it because it was Warhammer. That's about it, really. But I'll always try new Warhammer games, basically. Frageye, Tiny, that's not as crazy as Big Brain. Yeah, Big Brain did go all out. Big Brain was like, I want that gate motorized, and I was like, okay, well, if we get to 100 channel members, I'll do it. And Big Brain bought 100 channel members and gifted them. The only thing that I do notice, and I've definitely said this before, is everyone who comments in chat, loads of the people I see pop up, and a few of the regulars, they didn't happen to get a green name, so it just chose 100 people at random. None of the people that actually have been commenting and coming to the streams. He is a whole gate. He's also going to be a brain in a jar, because we're going to have the big brain gate back here, and probably a brain in a jar for the real Emperor. And you guys wait till you see that, because that's something we might start on fairly soon. The real Emperor. Huh? Looking forward to Dawn of War 4. Do you know what, Jock? Dawn of War has always eluded me. I never played any of the Dawn of War games, and there wasn't any reason to it, you know, they looked interesting. I just never got around to playing them. I also never had like a gaming computer, so I don't know whether that was kind of part of the reason. Tiny Lord, I mean, Big Brain is an Eldar-loving custodian, a brain in a jar by the Emperor's real throne, and a big motorized door. He is. Big Brain is several things all at once. Big Brain has some superpowers. Frageye, Nihilus, I'm still not able to gift subs on your channel, and I don't know why. That is incredibly strange, Frageye. That is incredibly strange, and I'm not sure why, because I haven't set anything. There's no settings to disable it, I don't think. Can anyone else who's watching, can you tell me whether you have the option? Because it'd be interesting to see whether it's just Frageye that's having that issue. Because even as I watch, I have this little, what's the little thing? Join membership. I'm just trying to see on here. Jock, did Big Brain spend all his scholarship money on the channel? Nice, man. Finally going to see that door open. You are going to see it open. I did promise Big Brain that it'll be done, but I did say I won't drop everything and do it first. So it's going to be something down the line. The Orange Banana. I think potentially people have to have the option enabled from their side, Frageye. That might be something then, Frageye. But I've just looked on mine, and it says super stickers, super chat, membership, but it doesn't say. Okay, no, I'm not getting the gifted thing either. Let me. I'm just going to check my YouTube Studio set, guys. I can't see chat for a minute, so forgive me if I don't get back to you straight away. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not saying anything about it being restricted on my side of things, which is very strange. Yeah, that's. I see. Tiny Lord has the option too. That's really weird. Alex, by me, you don't have to motorize that door. I just sit on the edge. waiting what happens. The little dollar icon button gives me a gifting option. That's weird, that because I was looking at my one here and it doesn't seem to have it for me. But yeah, I don't really know why it's doing that. Jock, there's a lot of side projects before that door open. No, hopefully not, Jock. Hopefully not too many. Technically, this is the first one in a long time. Because I'm trying to think of when I last done some other scenery. I think Tiny Lord actually owns the last piece of scenery that I done. Frag, I only have Super Chat and the Super Sticker. Do you know what? I'm going to have a little look. Let me just have a look here, guys. So... Yeah, I honestly... so... Basically, the overview, I know it's the overview, so it's not always correct. It says here that it's usually because the viewers that are trying to gift have not manually enabled allow gift setting, potentially. If viewer opts out of receiving gifts on one channel, it can sometimes restrict them across all channels. I don't know whether that's a possibility. And the other one is mobile device limits. Some users report that this can be finicky. Apparently you can do it on the desktop. That's probably not handy to hear for our guy. But apparently you can do it on the desktop. I only have Super Chat and Super Sticker. Yeah, that was coming up on mine as well for our guy. And on other streams, I'm still able to gift subs. That is incredibly strange, and I'm kind of disappointed because I don't really know what the answer is for it for our guy. Because I haven't changed anything on my side of things. If you ever have the ability to check out on a desktop for our guy, it might be worth seeing whether it's just a mobile thing or whether it's doing the same thing on desktop. Don't forget the Space Marine one. Yes, I know, Jock. I did actually mention that one. I did. But I'm not going to forget about it. What was I doing with this one? In fact, I've got to leave that one. Gotta go. Waking up at 5 tomorrow. Have a nice one, guys. See you later, Jock. Thank you for swinging by. Tiny Lord, if it's the Emperor's portrait, then yes, I do. I thought as much. By the way, what was your idea around painting the custodians? Are they all going to have a unified colour scheme, or is there going to be some variation? The idea, Tiny Lord, is to have them in unison. So they might have maybe some different identifiers, like maybe a gem, some gems will be different, but in terms of how they're going to be painted, they are going to be quite uniform. I feel like, pardon me, if I was to paint them all differently, it might be a bit chaotic. Yeah, sorry about that, Frag. I don't really know why it's doing it. I've had a little look on Google, but it's not giving me a definitive answer. And it seems that a few other people have the ability to, so I'm not entirely sure why it's not doing it. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. What did I want? A skull. I feel like the funny thing is with the membership is I don't think I've seen one person who was gifted one by Big Brain. I don't think I've seen one on the stream yet. So I feel like it gave it all to people who don't watch live streams, which is a funny choice. Okay, let's get another skull on. Do you know what I forgot? There's a brush. How have I managed to forget a brush? Just use the knife. No, I need a brush. Professional stream. Hell yeah. Okay. Let's do this. I don't know whether it's because I've done this so much, but sometimes I get like a huge deja vu when I'm hobbying. And it's like, I swear I've done this exact same thing before. Alright. That looks good. That's looking good. Let's see if we got one more skull. Which we might not have. I think it was lucky that I found that other one. That's going to be the next thing on the buy list, guys, is more transfers. More tank transfers. They get used the most. They get rinsed, these ones do. Tiny Lord, I mean, I know there's some custodians who wear black. I think the ones that are by the real Emperor. Also, I've seen a Telemon mini that was used... oh, marbling effect. I've seen that as well, Tiny Lord. For the big shoulder pads instead of red. To be fair, they're probably... You know, there'll be a little bit of variation in terms of stuff like that. When it comes to bigger tanks and dreadnoughts, I'll probably mix them up a little bit. But when it comes to your average custodian, it's going to be black and gold. And yeah, maybe just different gem colours, but I just want them not to overpower the rest of the build. So if I get too carried away with making them each look quite unique, I feel like it's going to detract from the build. But yes, you're right, Tiny Lord. Marbling effect is a cool idea, and that's probably something that I will utilise. In fact, something that you guys are going to see very, very soon is I've had an airbrush company reach out to me, and they've sent me an airbrush to review. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm gonna try and do some marble effect, I think, with it, and I will let you guys know how it goes and whether it's a recommendation or not. It's funny, but it's kind of one of those occasional perks that comes up through, I don't know, through being involved with social media and YouTube and stuff like that, is occasionally you get asked to try something, or you get sent something. So, yeah, we've kind of hit that stage where I'm being sent stuff to try out, to tell you guys whether it's good or not. I'm hoping it is good, because I do use a lot of airbrushes. Well, I say I use a lot of airbrushes, but you know what I mean. I use a lot of airbrushing on the project. So, if this is good, I'll definitely let you guys know. But it's going to be rigorously tested first, to make sure it fits the criteria. And then I'm also making the pilgrimage down to Hobby House on Friday, this next Friday. I'm going down to Southampton to meet the team and have a look around, basically. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I've recently become an affiliate of Hobby House. So if you ever want something and you want to order it through my affiliate link, I get a little bit of kickback and you get something for cheaper. So it's a win-win. Okay, so these barrels are essentially done, but I think I want one more set of transfers for them, basically. Maybe some kind of code. So you've got a nice big Aquila at the top, a giant skull, which means do not drink me, and now I think we just need some kind of code. Dropping everything on the floor this evening. Oh dear. Alright, let's try that again. Let's get some more Lucozade as well. I feel like anytime I drink something on stream, it's like a branded product placement. It's like, you should drink Lucozade when you're hobbying. It helps you get stuff done. Okay. So, would you guys be interested in seeing the little side projects then? Because I know this one I haven't made a video out of, like the Avarax one. The Avarax one that I still need to go back to. But it'd be interesting to know if you guys would like to see the other things that I work on, aside from the throne. It's okay if you're here purely for the throne. I do not resent you for that at all. Die Orange Banana. Lucozade is great though, it really is. It really is. It's funny though, because I don't feel like it's an actual energy drink. Because obviously it's, what, 20 past 9 here in the UK. You know, at some stage this evening I will be going to bed and trying to sleep. But I feel like Lucozade won't keep me awake. I feel like I'm one of those people who still manages to sleep after an energy drink. Frag Eye, show me all of it. What's that, Frag Eye? The barrel? Do you want to see the barrel, the Lucozade, or the side project? Show me all of it. I do prefer the sports versions, the flat ones. There's no fizz, Thy Orange Banana. Where's the kick? Nice electrolytes. It keeps me going. It's a Sunday evening, so the energy's reached you know, I feel like by Sunday evening you're always kind of tired, you know, it's Monday tomorrow, don't really want to go to work, so it gets me through it. I mean, all content in general is interesting to see, side projects and throne. That's good to know, Tiny Lord. I know that you did take an interest in the last one, since you own it. Frag Eye, side project! Well, I think we are going to be done with this one soon, actually, guys. Because it's really not that much to do. It's just these barrels, pretty much. I spent the hours today painting the candles and painting some skulls. So we're actually going to have a project done this year. Luke Thompson, what are you working on? I am working on a Ash Wastes kind of stronghold at the moment, Luke. I am. It's a significantly smaller project to my Golden Throne. But it's just a bit of a palate cleanser. So it keeps things fresh and keeps me sort of wanting to stay engaged with the Golden Throne project. Never heard of Lucozade, Frag-Eye? They don't have Lucozade in Germany? Crazy. It's basically just energy drink. Well, that's what they say. It's not like Monster though. It's a bit different to that, but it's supposed to be an energy drink. The kick is that squirty bottle is fun. It's fun. Is that why you guys are buying the Lucozade Sport, just for the squirty bottle? Just for the novelty bottle? I remember being in college, and you would always annoy people by sticking the bottle up to their face and just gently squeezing so they get that like right in the face. That's all the bottle's good for. Die Orange Banana, ooh, that's looking really good. Thank you very much. And thank you, Luke Thompson, looking really nice. I know the camera, as we've sort of said, the camera doesn't always pick up all the details. So I will put a video on YouTube. I'll put a short on when it's done. And I'll also put it on Instagram for any of you guys who follow on there as well. Are you trying to stay awake to watch the England game tonight? I am not, Luke. I am not. I'm going to do this stream and then I'm going to go to bed and I will read about the results in the morning, because I can't bring myself to do it. Don't really care about football too much. I'd watch it just for the novelty if I didn't have to be up early for work. So, yeah, not tonight. Are you, Luke? Are you doing it? Frag-Eye, we are a Red Bull country, sadly. Back in the 90s we had so many different ones, but today it's Red Bull or Monster. That sounds like a similar thing everywhere though, Frag-Eye, doesn't it? Red Bull or Monster are kind of your options. Lucozade is kind of the only other big one here in the UK. Well, that, and we have one called Relentless as well, but I feel like I don't see that as much nowadays. But I do see Red Bull and all the different monsters everywhere. Okay. All this energy drink talk is distracting me. I've got to do these last transfers. You know, sometimes I talk about how before I do certain aspects of the hobby, I have to go and look and see how it's done. Because I'm not a hobby wizard, I'm just really, really ambitious. So today I was having a little look at how to paint candles, and I found a really good short on how to paint red candles. So today, that is how I managed to get the desired effect for underneath my statue. Because I did try, I used skeleton horde initially on some of the candles that I bought, and it just looked crap. So tried to find a different method for it, and there was a channel, I didn't look at the name because I just wanted the information. But yeah, Flesh Terror's red as a contrast looks really good on a white undercoat, and I'm glad I painted the candles red. Like, I'm glad I sort of changed direction and went for it. Got work at 6 AM, but nothing but coffee and cocaine can't fix. God, what job do you do, Luke? I hope it's not a bus drive. Oh dear. You getting your pre-football game fix of Warhammer in then, are you, Luke? I need to not make the mistake this time of adding my microset. No, is it microsol? Microsol. Because when I put these on, sometimes I forget that you've got to give them a coat of microsol, just so they adhere a little bit better and you can't see the... They kind of look like they're printed on, basically, when you use the microsol. So I do need to remember to do that. Even if it's not today, I just need to remember to do it. And I need to do it to the pipes that we painted last time. A little bit crooked. Frag Eye, afraid to die alone, become a bus driver. That's a great advert, Frag Eye. I'm not sure how the how your commuters would feel about that, but I guess you're right. Luke Thompson, 100% working on my Silver Templars at the moment. I'm a brickie. What's the next aspect of the throne that you're looking to complete? Ah, a fellow tradesman. Good on you, Luke. I am a ground worker, so I will be out tomorrow digging holes. Hopefully not out in the melting heat, but it's looking like we're going to have another heat wave, so it's going to be a bit tough. What am I working on? What's the next aspect? So, what we've been working on in the streams before is some of the pipes. So, behind me, I'll grab one so you guys can have a look. Basically, I've got... Let's see, why can I never get it in the camera? Apologies, it's probably not going to focus. But I got these little bits of pipe. And I'm just kind of adding to the floor of the throne room, basically, to make it look a bit more detailed. Yeah, that's definitely not shown properly. Yeah, so I'm just kind of working on details at the moment, Luke. Just adding little bits and pieces. In terms of, like, the next big thing we got to do, is probably getting back to painting the pipes. I did, for about 3 streams, start painting some of the pipes on the pyramid, so I do need to get back to that and kind of gradually build up from the floor room. From the throne room floor. So that'll probably be the next thing. Then I have mentioned that we're going to do a room behind the Golden Throne, which is going to house the real Emperor. So we'll just have... it'll be a fairly small room, it's not going to be the same size as the project as it is. Probably be a set of Zone Mortalis tiles, and then that'll have the real Emperor and some other bits and bobs going on. So we'll have that. We'll have that coming up soon. There's always lots to be getting on with, though, Luke. There's always so much to be doing. I don't know why this happens, but sometimes a few of these transfers get little crystals on them. I don't know whether it's some kind of like brush cross-contamination or something, but it doesn't happen all the time. It happens very rarely, but I don't know why it happens. I don't know what else I'm putting the brush in. Nihilus, have you seen the throne room from the Huffworker? I don't think I have, Frag Eye. He's got a throne room as well. Damn, I'm not the only one with a throne room. I don't own the monopoly on throne rooms. That's disappointing. But no, Frag Eye, I don't. Where can I have a look? Where would you recommend I steal some ideas? Die Orange Banana, there are so many successor chapters. I didn't know there was a Silver Templars. What is it? They had I think you could get a special book. There was a hardback book that came with Conquest. I think if you paid the extra for the Conquest magazines and you got the premium sets, you got a book on the Silver Templars. So, yeah, they're a legit chapter, though. I think they're one of the ones that, I feel like they get a little bit more attention nowadays, just like Carcharodons. Or however you pronounce it, Carcharodons, they get a lot more attention nowadays, and I feel like back in the day they were just kind of like a sort of side chapter from the Beidab War. So Frageye, it's 8mm. That's cool. Surely you can make it pretty big with that then. But how do I see it, Frageye? Where do I go and take a look? Because I'll happily take a look. I do like to have a little nosy at what other people are working on. I know some people tend to avoid it. They're like, oh, I don't want to see anyone who is, who paints better or models better or whatever, because it puts me off. But I feel like it's not about comparison. It's just kind of like inspiration. And I feel like if you can see it that way, it will help you in the long run. Because it's not a competition. It's definitely not a competition. The whole idea of the hobby is to sit down and do what you enjoy. And, just chill out, basically. I'm not trying to get involved in any painting competitions or anything. I'm just trying to have fun and build. Ah, they are a successor chapter to the Smurfs. I don't think I actually knew that. Silver Templars. I've definitely seen them, though. I've definitely seen them. I'm pretty sure I had the hardback book at one point. Just because I bought a second-hand collection of Marines. Come on. Oh my god. The barrels like to roll. You pain in the ass. Frageye looks good, but in a way different scale. Well, that still sounds pretty interesting. It sounds like a much more manageable project as well. Maybe I should have done mine in 8mm, Frageye. I probably have it done by now. And in a different style. Is it like, is it influenced by some of the art then, Frageye? Is it based on an existing art piece? It does sound pretty damn cool. You haven't told me where I can see it yet, though, Frageye. Thy Orange Banana. Yeah, I had a look at the Silver. Yeah, I had a look at the Silver Templars. To be honest, not surprised they're an Ultramarine successor, considering how large they are. Is that the chapter? Are they going against the Codex? Have they got a larger chapter than they're supposed to have? Because wasn't that always the thing, that Ultramarines have always had a larger chapter than they're supposed to? I know Black Templars is one of the chapters that's supposed to have that. They're not 1,000. They are definitely more than 1,000. Not quite sure. Where did you see it then, Frageye? How did you manage to see it? The Orange Banana. Just how many successors Ultramarines have? Oh, there's gotta be loads. I was looking through the list on, was it Lexicanum, maybe? And or the list of the Space Marine chapters, and there was loads. Like, you know, a lot of the ones I think I looked at were Blood Angel successors, just because I was kind of looking for a scheme that I eventually want to paint my never-ending pile of Space Marines. But I know the Smurfs have loads. Luke, one question I've been thinking on. Have you been in contact with the other content creators to potentially paint parts of the diorama? Painting some of the custodies or servitors at? I haven't really, Luke. In terms of painting and building, I kind of, it sounds really bad. I like the creative control of it. I was thinking along the lines of banners. So a while ago now, it was kind of suggested that you know, there could be a bigger community element, which I do agree with, in the form of like doing some banners. Because obviously we got all this space on the throne room floor. It would be cool to have like a bunch of cool looking banners. So one of the ways I was thinking of doing something similar to what you're suggesting is being like, oh, you know, if you'd be interested in painting a banner, we can stick it on the project. So that might be an avenue we go down. In terms of not hobbying, and for those of you who enjoy the gaming aspect of things, there is, pardon me, I'm going to try and reach out to other content creators who do battle reports, so you guys can see a game on it. But yeah, so banners, yes. In terms of painting miniatures, probably not, Luke. Fragai, it's based on I think Blanchard. Okay, that could be really cool. That could be very, very cool. Oh, do you want to hear? Shall I share with you guys, since we're talking about like side projects, shall I tell you an idea that I've had? I don't know whether I want to do it just because it wouldn't be anything near the size of the throne at all. But I feel like it would still be a lot of effort to do. But there is a John Blanche piece that I've been eyeballing, and I'm like, I could do something with this. I could make something in relation to this. So I've kind of been sitting on it, but if you're interested, I'll tell you guys what it is. Tiny Lord, talking about banners, I was going to ask if I get to pick the coat of arms design if I pick the standard bearer. Oh, that's a good question. The problem is, Tiny Lord, since I will be painting it, it has to be within my like ability, is the issue. I think we could certainly work on it together so that it has like your kind of stamp on it. So let me think on that, and we'll see what we can do if you choose to go for that one. I just looked up a bunch of. I just looked up Blanche Golden Throne. A thumbnail of the channel came up. Lol. I think I've seen that. I've typed in because when I want to get stuff for thumbnails, and I type in Golden Throne, I have seen it come up before. So it's good to know we're there, hiding away on Google. Because I'm pretty sure, apart from Zorpazorp doing the Imperial Palace, I think at the moment I'm the only one doing anything sort of throne related. I better hurry up and get it done though. Need one more code. Talking about banners, I was going to ask if... oh, sorry, I read that one. Oh, it'd probably be a black and yellow Garoni? Tiny Lord? I don't know what a Garoni is. Unless that's a misspell. This last code. There we go. Yeah, I think my main focus of the sort of community element will probably be because when I talk about standards, I don't mean this is where the sort of confusion might be taking place. I've got a couple of banners that sit independently of anyone, kind of similar to if you've seen the John Blanche art of the Eternity Gate, all the banners that are on the ground level of that. I've got a few of them, and that's what I was thinking in terms of banners, is not necessarily people holding them, it's just banners that sort of sit there. So that was the idea. Fragai, what is a Garoni? Yeah, I'm intrigued as well, Fragai. What is a Garoni, Tiny Lord? I think it's pronounced Gaironi, and it's a shield pattern. Well, I've learnt something today then, Tiny Lord. Because I did not know that. I didn't. I've learnt a few things on these streams. I've learnt about rainbow worms as well. Garoni. That's an interesting one. I'll try and remember that one. I've definitely remembered rainbow worms. That's like sunk into my psyche. I am pretty happy with these at the moment. I am pretty damn happy with them. The only thing that is annoying me is they have... I don't know why they're like crystallized. There's kind of like deposits that build up on the top of it. I don't know whether it's because I use this, what do you call it, this ramekin that I've had sitting about for a while. But they're kind of drying and crystallizing a little bit. It's happened before, and I know I can mainly just brush it off, so it's not going to be a big issue. I just like to know why it happens. Fragai, did you find them yet? What did I find, Fragai? What did I find? Tiny Lord, it's like if you liked it into 4 quarters, slice each of those diagonally to get the right triangle sections. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that, Tiny Lord. I think it will probably be beyond my expertise when it comes to painting, but I'll certainly take a look. And if anything, at least you've taught me something today. I've learnt something new. Fraggai, the rainbow worms. The rainbow worms was definitely one of my highlights. I've got a few highlights from our chats. One of them is rainbow worms. One of the early ones was the Scandinavian Wars. I enjoyed listening to the Scandinavian Wars. The other one I was going to say was the gate being motorized, but technically we're at a stage now where the gate is going to be motorized, so you guys won that one. That inside joke became less of a joke. Although I feel like it sets a dangerous precedent. It's like, oh, you want to do something to the throne room? All you got to do is buy 100 channel members and then you can do that. That was such a throwaway comment as well. Now I gotta think about logistics. All because I was like, yeah, whenever this channel gets to 100 members, if it does, then I'll do it. I just make a rod for my own back. Luke Thompson, what's your favourite part of the build so far? Ooh, that is another good question. What's my favourite part of the build so far? Well... Ooh. Do you know what, Luke? I quite like how the walls have turned out. I know that sounds... It's probably not what you guys would expect, because it's not the main aspect of the build. But because they were sort of dreamt up after the fact, I was worried that they wouldn't really match the rest of the throne room, but I feel like they blend in quite well. Obviously, there's a load to be painted there, but yeah, I'm very happy with them. I'm also happy with my version of the Emperor, but I think he needs a little bit more work. So I was kind of torn between the walls and saying, oh, you know, my version of the Emperor, but because I'm going to tweak him a little bit more, I think it'll have to be sort of the walls and the gate being my favourite. And obviously I cannot take any credit at all for the gate, because the gate was designed by a friend of mine, Frankie, who he spent a lot of time and effort not just designing the gate, but he also broke it up into manageable sections so that I could build it when it arrived here. So yeah, I cannot take any credit for that at all. That was all Frankie's amazing work. But a throwaway answer as well, Luke, would be I'm happy with all of it. I am. There's things I would change. You know, if I had to go back and do things again, I would probably do things a bit differently. I think for the pyramid, I would probably do it a little bit differently. I probably wouldn't go ham with the green stuff. I'd start out with a more organised base and then kind of do what I'm trying to do now, which is build on top of it and do it that way. So yeah, you know, I am happy with it. Hufflepuffs, good morning everybody. Been sleeping in, so missed a couple of days. You probably haven't missed too much, Hufflepuffs, to be fair. I have not streamed for a couple of days recently. I kind of took a bit of time for myself, and now we're back sort of working on a palette cleanser, which is a bit of a side project based on sort of Necromunda Ash Wastes, just to keep things fresh, basically. We're still talking about the Golden Throne, still talking about future ideas, all the other stuff we've got to do. So yeah, you know, it's still there. It's always in the background. And I've just realised the camera's got all this space. I've got all this white wall space with nothing in. I should really adjust my camera better next time before the next stream. Faragai, okay, tiny. Heraldicky, speaking, you can go nuts with the partitioning a shield Garoni. Thanks for teaching me the English term, though. Yeah, I'm going to check that out after the stream. I am, because I think I know what it is, but I didn't know the name for it, so I've learnt something today. Always learning things on these streams. I know a few of you probably have already, but if you do enjoy the streams, please leave a like, because it helps YouTube push it out there to a few more new people. And it all helps the channel, basically, so I would really appreciate it. We do occasionally get a few new faces in here, which is good. So it's glad to know that YouTube doesn't think it's complete drivel. I think before next stream, though, definitely going to check before the football. Because I definitely done that last week, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to stream tonight because the football's on. So, you know, I think a lot of people are going to be watching the World Cup, and I just didn't check tonight. So, it's still nice to have you guys hanging out with me, though. Obviously, the group who are a little less interested in the Norway game. And a few of you who are crazy enough to stay up and watch England. Fragai, Garoni of 3 Arondi in gold and black would look sick, I guess. See, I'm gonna have to go and look, Fragai. I don't know what this is gonna look like. I can't envision it properly yet. Tiny Lord, it's a pretty cool pattern, although yellow and black I pictured wouldn't stand out as much given their colour scheme. Might need to brainstorm. Alright, I'm just going to have a look now. Gironi. Oh, I see. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I could probably achieve something like that, I think, but I feel like I would definitely need practice. I would need a practice run or two to get that right. Okay, alright. I need one more of these. And then they're going to need a coat of Microsol. I just need one more. There we go. I had to spend about half an hour today cleaning up before the stream because I spent so much time on this little side project today. Things just got out of hand and it was bad to the point where there was no space for me to put anything down because I have a really, really bad habit of using materials and using paints and everything, and when I finish with them they just still stay on the desk. They don't go back to where they came from. They stay on the desk and they get in the way. Luke Thompson, I'm only staying awake to watch England so I can stay awake to watch House of the Dragon. Aren't they rounding that off now? Isn't that the last season? I watched the first season of it and I really enjoyed it, but I just haven't gone back and watched the rest of it yet. I feel like a lot of the wind was taken out of my sails with Game of Thrones. Because, you know, like Game of Thrones was good, and then I kind of fell off the last 2 seasons. I felt like, I don't know, I felt like some of the decisions weren't that great. So, yeah, I wonder if that kind of has taken a bit of the wind out of my sails for other, you know, sort of Game of Thrones projects. What I've got my fingers crossed for now, though, is the Warhammer 40k stuff that we got coming from Amazon. I'm hoping it's good. I'm really hoping it's good. I have a bit of faith that, you know, Henry Cavill being a nerd like the rest of us, is going to do it justice. But, well, you know, we'll have to wait and see. We need a good story. And I feel like they talked about it, what, 2 years ago now or something? They had an article on Warcom and just haven't heard anything since yet. So I feel like this is still a bit further down the line yet. Big Brain, 0-0, it is intense. You're on your half-time break, are you, Big Brain? You must be playing well. We're still doing transfers, Big Brain. You haven't missed too much. We're just finishing off these barrels. Alright, that is looking good. Now I need to decide about these posters. Luke Thompson, I'm hoping it's Eisenhorn. I feel like that would be a very good story to get everyone invested in. And then kind of expand the universe from there. But I'm not sure. I feel like we had... didn't we have the potential for that a few years ago? There was all this talk about an Eisenhorn series coming out, and then it just never materialised, and eventually just kind of faded away. I'm not sure whether anyone even said, like, oh, actually it's not happening. They just didn't talk about it again. Tiny Lord, just found where the standard bearer I was looking at is from. Sentinel Guards Solidity. I can never... Do you know what? They've started using that word for custodies. Solidity. And I struggle with it. But you've just noticed. I saw somewhere that he's going to play Titus, though. Ooh, do you reckon, Luke? I feel like... Oh, I don't know. I feel like Henry Cavill has got to be a fairly big character. And I feel like the whole Titus thing is being explored through the medium of video games. If they did make him a bigger character and kind of put him on the big screen... I don't know. It could be good. But I feel like they might want to explore something else and not have Titus for video games and live action. Because they've got him in that secret level as well. And I feel like if anything, maybe that would have been a good time to, if you were going to go down that route of having him as live action, maybe have Henry Cavill voice him? I don't know. Big Brain, Norway offsided a goal for the first 5 minutes. Ooh. Fragai, Eisenhorn would be best, but I guess they go with Titus. I don't know, honestly, Fragai. I don't think it will be Eisenhorn. I hate to bust you and Luke's bubble, but I don't think it's going to be Eisenhorn. Titus is the poster boy, and we are seeing a lot more about Titus, especially since he's got an updated model now. But, I don't know. I just can't see that being the main focus. I feel like they would start somewhere else. But yeah, it is anyone's guess. You know, this is just my speculation, so, yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. It does feel to me that Titus didn't start off being like a big character, because when they released Space Marine 2, they gave him this kind of almost throwaway model. So they released the box set with a Captain Titus miniature and then a bunch of Tyranids, like a kind of, I don't know if it was a self-contained game. And then, you know, like his model was, it was kind of like lackluster, I guess, with a bit of a goofy pose. And it seems that it's only recently that he's got a lot more attention. So he got this proper box set with some other characters and his entourage, basically. Although it is weird they decided to kill off Chiron, you know, off screen. So I don't know whether there was like a big grand plan for Titus to begin with, or whether just things have completely changed, because yeah, it was a bit of a weird decision to kill off Chiron, who in Space Marine 2 had an interesting backstory, and I felt like maybe they would go somewhere with it, but yeah. Luke Thompson, I feel like they've expanded the character so much in terms of secret level, and making him captain again is hyping him up. Yeah, they've definitely made him front and center, and they've definitely sort of built him back up. But I don't know whether they've sort of changed the path that they were going to follow to do that. Because I don't know, I have a weird thing about, like, the way that they killed, yeah, Chiron and, what's the other fella? I can't remember his name, but he's got a Scottish accent in the game. And I just feel like doing that off screen was so weird. Alex, love Cavill, but I think AI would proceed a lot before big ass movies. Not that they're poor. I hope we don't see an AI thing. I don't want to see that. You know, I do want to see. you know, it's Amazon. They've got a budget. They can do, if they can do Rings of Power, which is is not my cup of tea. You know, they can definitely do a Warhammer series and do it well. But I don't want to see any AI stuff. You know, I want to see good effects, but I want to see human created content. Michael Howe, Akaran, that's it, and Luke, Akaran, yes, Akaran. You know, those were two characters that were interesting in the games, but they said, oh yeah, they went to a gene stealer cult infested hive and got locked in and died, and it's like, what? So yeah, it's just weird. It just doesn't sit right with me. It's the same level of doesn't feel right as Steel Legion. You know, with the introduction of Armageddon and everyone going, "Where's the Steel Legion?" Games Workshop kind of went, "Oh yeah, they're coming. You know, we're gonna do them," and they showed us some concept art for the Steel Legion, and it's like I don't feel like that was the plan. I feel like you responded to peer pressure from the fans and decided that you were going to do some. Luke Thompson, Rings of Power is trash. Luke, I agree that Rings of Power is not my cup of tea. And it was highly disappointing because I am a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. Lord of the Rings was... because I got into the strategy battle game when I was a kid. So I love Lord of the Rings. I watched it and read the books and everything. And I thought that Amazon had the potential to do something really good with Rings of Power. Especially like, you know, the stories they could have told. But yeah, like some of the visuals are fantastic, don't get me wrong, but the script writing is awful and the storytelling is kind of awful. So yeah, really didn't do it for me. They're supposed to be doing 5 seasons, but I feel like just no one cares at this point. There's like a very small selection of people that care. I apologise if any of you guys do enjoy it, but it's really not my cup of tea. Big Brain, they probably changed the plan with Titus. That's what I think, Big Brain. I think they did change the plan. I don't think it was the original idea, and I don't know if you guys remember the Warhammer community article where we got Space Marine 3 announced, because they have said it's happening, you know, we're doing Space Marine 3, and you've got Titus on, they released a picture of Titus, and you've got like a green glow on his chest plate, so kind of implying that we're going to go down the whole Necrons route. But it'll be interesting to see, well, even though we probably won't find out, but it would be interesting to be a fly on the wall and see how much has changed in terms of what they plan to do with Space Marine 3. Because they could have, for all we know, they could have just completely rewritten the story now. You know, might not even have Necrons in it. Alex, a lot hates Halo series. I told you with Miller, I am a sucker for these things. I actually want more. See, even the Halo series, I feel like that has more mixed reviews than anything. I feel like there's a larger group of people who enjoy that than do Rings of Power. Sorry guys, I'm losing my voice there. Ranting about how much I dislike Rings of Power. I just want them to get, you know, I just want them to get these franchises right, because I feel like being really disappointed with Rings of Power and then also being disappointed with The Witcher being tanked has not given me high expectations for people's adaptations of IPs that we like. So, you know, The Witcher is one of my sort of, I want to say favourite franchises, but I haven't read all the books. But I really enjoy The Witcher. I have read the first book and I've read most of the second book. Pardon me. And then watching the series, I feel like they were completely different to what I had read. and I wasn't the only one to obviously notice that. So it was a bit of a shame that they took it in a completely different direction, and I haven't watched the past 2 seasons that have come out from the Netflix show, but apparently they've just kind of done what they want now, so it's a shame to see that happen, you know? Especially when there's good material to draw inspiration from. The Orange Banana, I think because it's Master Chief, shouldn't have taken off the helmet. Yeah, wasn't that one of the big controversies about that show, is him taking off the helmet? I know actors want to be seen, but it's disappointing how they adapted the show. Yeah, I forget that was a thing. I haven't actually watched the Halo show. Pablo is great, but still. Yeah, I suppose that's quite a big thing for a lot of people, but I can't really give my 2 cents on that because I didn't play the Halo games, really. Not till later on. I've played like 1 and 2. Don't hate me for that. So yeah, I just don't feel like I can have a big opinion on the show either because I haven't seen that. Big Brain, the only series I like on Prime is Vox Machina. Haven't seen that, Big Brain. And I'm off to the game again. Well, good luck, Big Brain. I hope it pans out for you. What was I going to say that I have seen? I'll tell you one I would recommend to a few of you guys is Silo, which is on Apple TV. Really enjoyed that so far. And the 3rd season is out at the moment, I think, or like in episodes they're releasing them. Really enjoyed the writing for that. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend it, and it's based on books as well, from what I've heard. Ultraviolent, don't think, just watch. She is clowning. You're still on that, Alex. You're still on Miller. Still on Miller. Orange Banana, I heard Silo is great. It is good. It is good. If I was going to recommend something to you guys, I would recommend Silo. Yeah, just really enjoyed it. I don't want to say too much about it, obviously, because spoilers, but if you get a chance, I think you can get like a free trial with Apple as well. So just get the month free trial, make sure you cancel before, and just binge them. You might want to wait though till the whole of season 3 is out, but you can do that and then you just don't have to pay for it and you get to watch the series. I know that's not exactly new news because you can do it with other stuff as well, but yeah, I would definitely recommend giving that a go. Alright, I'm going to stick some Microsol on these, I think. How are we doing for time? It's 10 past 10 already, guys. It's 10 past 10. I'm going to get a new brush. Bear with me. Let's get a new brush. Go. Okay. I probably won't get around to weathering these today, but I might try and fit in a bit of time tomorrow after work, potentially. Depending on how warm it gets tomorrow. And I will let you guys know, I know it's probably not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but when this project is done, it's actually going to be going up for sale. Because the idea behind this project, this little side project, was one, to be a bit of a palette cleanser, and sort of, you know, take a break from painting gold and painting throne room stuff, and 2, is to help me raise some more funds for the secret room, because I'm probably going to need to build a stand for the secret room that's going to fit on the back of the throne room. I need to get some materials for that, so I'm probably going to put this up for auction on eBay, and if you guys are interested, you can bid on it, basically. Luke, I think if Amazon cancelled the Warhammer TV program, they are not making it right. Oh, well, I hope we don't. I hope we don't get there. I really hope we don't get there. I hope we don't get like death of the series through mismanagement, basically. Shit. One of these Aquillas has just decided to not play ball. Okay, I fixed that just about. Pain in the ass. I managed to just smudge that with my finger, and the problem is once you've put microsol on it, it really weakens the decal. So that was sketchy. I thought you meant the throne for a second. No, nope, not the throne. You guys will never see the throne up for sale. I spent far too much time on that throne. That's gonna live here forever now. That is. This is its forever home. The Orange Banana, enjoy the rest of your evening. Look forward to the next live stream. I'm going to hit the hay. Sleep well, everyone. Thank you for joining us, The Orange Banana. I'm sure we will catch you in the next stream. Yeah, see you soon. Thank you for swinging by. Alex, one series I watched for a couple before it got cancelled, then revived, was The Expanse. Have to think about this one. Not for all. I love it. The physics in space are awesome. I watched that too, Alex. The Expanse was actually one of my favourite series before... Well, there was a bit of controversy, wasn't there, with one of the main characters being a bit of a... Well, being inappropriate. And they killed off his character, and the show kind of... I don't know. Kind of went downhill a little bit, I think. And I know that wasn't any of the show writers' fault whatsoever, but it was a shame, because I feel like it was a really good series. Oh, I meant right, I see. Yeah, well, I don't think too much of that happens, to be fair, but we'll see. Hopefully not. Fragai, The Expanse was great. Well, he was a jerk. Exactly that, Fragai. Exactly that. You know, it was his own behaviour that landed him there, but it was just a shame because his character was cool. You know, he had a good character. It was he was one of my favourite characters, but you know, people are just I don't know what's wrong with people. Why can't people just be normal? Sorry guys, going quiet while I do my concentrating again. But the character was important for the show. Exactly, Fragai. It was good, you know, good character, important for the show, and he just threw it away, basically. You know, I can't remember the full details. I just know it was like inappropriate behaviour at conventions or something like that. But yeah, you know, people, it's stupid. Ruined it for himself, ruined it for everyone else. Fantastic, well done. And tank your career as well. Okay. Yeah, it's funny though. This is definitely doing that. I know I can't show you guys exactly, but I am still getting some crystallized, or some like crystals forming when these dry. I don't know whether it could be the warmth maybe. Just a bit weird. Just a little bit weird. I think that one needs to dry a little bit. What I don't want to do is give them too much if they haven't dried properly. Hufflepuff Puffs, I want Monster Hunter models to paint. That's on my list. Monster Hunter models? What do you mean by Monster Hunter models, Hufflepuff Puffs? Oh no, did I mix it? Well, I didn't mix it in this. I think I might have mixed it in the wrong thing, that's why. I feel like when I started this little side project, I didn't think I'd be as happy with it as I am now. Like, it kind of started out bare bones, and basically all the little pieces that I've painted have kind of added the character to it, and kind of reinvested me into it. Because like the little skulls and containers and everything have like helped push it forward quite a lot. So I'm glad I persisted with it, because it was kind of sat to one side for a little while. I was like, should I go back to it? And I'm glad I did. So that might be an indication, if you're working on something and it's not coming together straight away, just give it a little bit and then go back to it. Monster Hunter, like the game. Oh, the board game with monster models to paint. Is that based on the video game? The Monster Hunter video game? On my hobby list. Nice. I haven't seen them. I haven't. But then again, I'm really bad at like paying attention to anything that's not Warhammer. I just about kind of pay attention to... oh my god, why's my brain stopped? To Trench Crusade. So yeah, I haven't seen any of the Monster Hunter stuff. I know that... I do know there was like Witcher models at one point, or a Witcher board game, and that did kind of pique my interest. But again, it's just going to be stuff that gathers dust for me. What possessed you to start the project? That's a good question, Luke. Do you know what? Sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I ask myself the same question. When things aren't going to plan, I'm like, why? Why did I do this? Why do I do this to myself? Maybe, Luke, it's a cry for help. In all honesty, if you're familiar with some of my other work, you will see that this is my second Emperor of Mankind project. So a few years ago now, I'd done a smaller one based on some John Blanche artwork. And when I completed that piece, kind of just after actually, Neil Roberts released some artwork for The End of the Death, which was sort of a picture of the throne room at the kind of height of the heresy. Well, I think maybe just before the heresy. And I seen it and I was like, oh, I want to build that. You know, I wonder if I could build it and sort of put my own spin on it. So that's where it all kind of happened. Like it just took shape from there. I started off. I found a base on a job I was on. Actually, we were doing some clearance, and I found this massive wooden board, and it's got had proper supports at the bottom of it. So I was like, I can use that as a base for my project, and then yeah, just built it around that. And over the past 3 years, it's evolved and evolved and evolved, and now it's here. Now we're at this stage, and now, we pretty much just need to paint it. But yeah, I do ask that question, Luke. What possessed me? Okay, this is looking much better now. I think rather shortly we're probably going to call it a night, because I've done all my transfers for these, and I don't want to start weathering them because I got work early and I got to try and get a good few hours sleep. But I would like to thank you all for joining me this evening. It's been productive. I really like it when the streams are productive, just because it feels like I'm actually making some progress. I know I get distracted from time to time and end up like chatting for ages, but it is really cool when they're actually productive. Trenches? I'm Colonel Yurton. No, it's more religious stuff. Well, I say religious, it is kind of. It's got that element, hasn't it, Trench Crusade? Well, it's like the whole main element of Trench Crusade is good versus evil, religious-ish kind of stuff. Yeah, anyway, okay, what I was going to say is, thank you very much for joining me, guys. We've made a fair bit of progress. I'm going to put some pictures up straight after this. I'll put them onto Instagram. I'll just put them as a little story thing for you guys to have a look at these barrels properly, because I know this camera's not going to pick them up. I will say, if you guys enjoy the streams, please consider becoming a channel member. It helps me each month. It enables me to do these more often. It enables me to, put money into the build. So, yeah, if you do enjoy it, please consider becoming a channel member and turning your name green, like a few people on this list. So, yes, on that note, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evenings. Luke, I hope you enjoy the football. I hope it comes up for England. I just seen this Aftermage. Good morning, Aftermage. We are just calling it a night here for now. So a little bit late or early, but you can catch up on the stream by starting at the beginning or whichever point you so choose, should you choose to. Yeah, see, Fry Guy's ahead there. But yeah, so if you haven't subscribed or liked and everything, do that for me. Really appreciate it. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next stream, which should be fairly soon. I was going to say maybe tomorrow. It probably won't be tomorrow, but Wednesday. Wednesday we will stream again, and I will see you all then. Thank you very much.